Back on China's very first National Day, 16,400 soldiers took part. Certainly an impressive statistic in terms of manpower, but the military hardware on display back in 1949 was in a different league to the ultra-modern weapons systems that passed by and over Tiananmen Square today. 6 decades ago, the highlights included 119 cannons, 152 tanks, all foreign-made, and about 2,000 cavalry. The standard of the troops also presents a marked contrast. While their bravery and endurance were in no doubt, the war-weary veterans taking part in that parade had nothing approaching the education, equipment and specialised knowledge of today's highly trained and superbly equipped soldiers. Another contrast in terms of military personnel is that today we saw representatives of the Navy, Air Force and other specialised branches all playing prominent parts. However, in 1949, the troops marching were virtually all infantry, as the other branches of the military were still being established. Still, this year's anniversary event will contain many of the same elements as the original version 60 years ago, and the basic formation of the parade will remain largely the same as it was in 1949. But while the logistics may have changed, the attitudes of the Chinese people towards the National Day procession and those who took part in it haven't changed a bit. And the memory of that unforgettable day is still clear in the minds of many older Chinese people today.
It wasn't as different as you'd think. Like today, it wasn't just open to anyone. It was meticulously planned. We were also very well organized and practiced constantly in preparation. I was 20 years old at the time, and in one of the parade groups. I saw Chairman Mao, who was inspecting the parade, and Zhou Enlai, Li Jingsheng, and Zhang Lan. I felt very proud.
I was very happy then. We didn't have TV at that time. We only have a very old-style radio. You turn on the radio with a needle. We heard Chairman Mao announcing that Chinese people have stood up. There were thousands of people surrounding the radio, listening to the announcement. We were all moved. The parade was on the Tiananmen Square. After the parade, we were singing and dancing on the streets. There were so many people, but we didn't feel embarrassed at all.
At that time, we were standing on one side of the street. Then I saw Chairman Mao waving his hand to people. Everybody was so happy and there was huge applause.
The first parade was created to follow the founding ceremony of the People's Republic of China and followed directly after the declaration read by Chairman Mao Zedong at 3 p.m. The symbolism is clear, the dawn of a new, strong nation, along with hope for the future. Looking at China today, these feelings of strength, nationalism and fierce pride are still very much in evidence, creating strong parallels with the situation back in 1949. It's not difficult to point out the huge differences between the China of then and the China of today. Certainly the economy is much stronger now, and China has developed on so many levels to a degree unimaginable back on that warm October day 60 years ago. However, similarities remain nonetheless. National Day in 1949 took place in a climate of joy, fervent national pride and unbridled optimism for the future. Emotions still very much alive in the Chinese people of today. Fergus Thompson, BON.